reasons to reject a manuscript to have a disc rejection. So, a rejection even prior to getting forward with review is first and foremost outside of the journal scope. And this is something that a lot of my students struggle with. So, they didn't say anything bad about my manuscript, but they still rejected it at desk. And there, the answer lies mainly within the topic of the manuscript. It might not fit the topic of the manuscript. As a supervisor, I try to guide this process in the right pathway, but sometimes it is impossible to guide this. And if this is the case, then a desk rejection will be needed first to see, okay, we are not within that scope. With high impact factor journals, as said before, if it's not interesting for the readership, it might be that it's too niche based, it might be that it's too broad based. You will get quite early a rejection. And I am always thankful if I don't have a chance to publish in that specific journal, that the rejection comes quickly, so in a few days, instead of waiting months and months prior to getting the rejection. Something that we can impact on, especially if we pass the other two, so the content and the readership, is that we follow to the line the instructions for offers. So instructions for offers should always be followed. If that means that you would need to upload pictures separately, that you would need to improve the tables or upload them in a separate file, please do so, because it will make it more likely that you will be accepted in that specific journal. Furthermore, we have the next topics that are then based on something that is very difficult to improve. One is the lack of significance. It might just be that you might not communicate it well. What is the significance? And need to think about it yourself also, as well as the lack of originality or novelty. If, however, you revise this and refine it, and it still is communicated that it is a lack of originality or novelty, you might rethink the angle from which you are reporting the manuscript, and if there is a certain other angle that might be more significant to the contribution of science. This is one that is difficult to improve, but still sometimes with refining the angle, you can improve it. You can also have flaws in your study design. I've seen a few manuscripts, especially in my early days when I was collaborating with colleagues in flaws in study design, and these flaws will then translate in unpublishable research. So, this is the important part, that if you fail to prepare, you're preparing to fail in your publication. With this, additionally, are the ethical problems detected? May it be that you have done things without the consent of the participants or the consent of an ethics committee? If this is the case, this is usually unpublishable research. What we can again impact is then the poor writing and organization, following the common skills in academic writing and getting the manuscript in a common form for that specific journal, maybe looking at samples from previous published manuscripts.